For Reaper Metal Productions, I am Adam of Unbaptized Records, making a brand new video for you today. And I know I said I was going to be on a hiatus for the month of April, but 2 giant packs came in for me and I couldn't resist. I wanted to make a video, so I'm actually going to do 2 videos. One showing off my first pack and the other one showing off another pack. The second one is awesome because it's related to a video I did recently. I don't want to spoil it, but if you saw my Instagram post, you probably know what I'm talking about. I'll get into that more in detail for that video. But this video, this is a huge shout out to Melanie Loves Death Metal. So for those who don't know the connection, obviously I'm on Reaper Metal here, but my other YouTube channel that I just sort of use for browsing is Layla Lover 90. So obviously if you ever watch J-Dog's videos, you see my content pretty regularly, showing up my paid skis and stuff. But Melanie Loves Death Metal does giveaways for every 1,000 subscribers that she gets. So in this case she has 7,000. I can't say that every time she gets another 1,000 she'll do it, but I'm pretty sure she's done it for a few of them, and I actually won the giveaway. So this is the box that just came in. So I opened it already this morning, but I'm going to open it on camera and just kind of go through the things that I won, including a CD I bought as well. So she had mentioned how we talk a little bit on Instagram, and I actually bought a few things from her recently. So funny enough, this came in the pack of stuff that I won. So a couple of flyers, a couple of stickers. I won't really go over them, but I always love free stuff like this because free on top of free, because I always include them in packs, or I'll put them on boxes to make them look nice and everything. But so this is actually what I purchased. So High on Fire, Electric Messiah. It's the only thing I like by the band, because even though they're actually more like a doom band, and I'm pretty sure the guy in the band is also the guy from Sleep, which I'm not a fan of. But I bought this because this is actually a really thrashy album, for those who don't know. Again, I'm not a big fan of doom, as you kind of obviously know, but this was very much not doom. And I just remember hearing the song Electric Messiah, which I believe is actually about Lemmy, but it's just a great release. So I picked it up from her. She was selling it. It was like $8, grabbed it. But the rest of the stuff I won, which is really freaking cool. So again, shout out to her. Maybe someday in the future do a collab. I don't know if she's down for that, maybe, but I can reach out and ask. But most of this stuff I'm not super familiar with. Only a few bands in here I actually know, so that's going to be cool. So the first album, it just says Vulgar Memphitis. I'm not sure if that's the name of the band or the release itself. It looks like it's the name of the band, and then it doesn't look like there's a name of the release. Maybe it's an EP, because it looks like it's just 3 songs. Yeah, I don't know, a Maggot Stomp record release. That's pretty cool. Not super familiar with their discography, I just know that Maggot Stomp does a lot of, I guess, the old school death metal stuff, just modern versions of it, so that's pretty cool. When I first saw this art, I almost thought it was like an homage to is it Ringworm or something? New album, the Lady in the Water. It's kind of what it looks like, but that's her face melted off. This album I am familiar with because I used to listen to the shit out of them in high school, and just not so much recently. It's a Corpse Gristle release, and this is skinless, so still brand new. This is the Trample the Weak, Hurdle the Dead, and this is one of those cool releases that comes with a pick, which I think is cool. So I was only ever familiar with this and the album before it. Less familiar with this release, and again, I just haven't listened to them a lot since high school, so this will be a nice listen, and brand new CD too, which is really, really cool. So this one I definitely have not heard of. This is called Phthisis, maybe? Phthisis, Phthis, Embodiment of Decay. So looks brutal death metal, obviously, and there's 4 songs, which is kind of interesting because, we'll see. Looks like brutal death. Usually you can tell also the type of music it is based on the band members' shirts, and I can't really tell what they're wearing, so that doesn't really help me. So yeah, it'll be a surprise, so we'll see. But always down to listen to new stuff. And this looks black metal, but knowing Melanie, it's probably not, well, I don't know. It's Nuclear War Now record, so it probably is black metal. Death Worship, End Times. So I don't know. I'd be curious to see. Again, that kind of looks black metal to me. Maybe, if I had to guess. So we'll have to see. Maybe again. There's no vocalists, no picture of the band, at least on the back. And they have, well, at least one of them has a tough guy name. So additional vocals by Black Winds. So I'm guessing this might be black metal if I had to put a guess on it. So we'll see if I'm right there. Be interesting. This next one is a band called Horrified, not to be confused with the album Horrified. Crematorium Mist. So is that Corpse Gristle? Okay, that's cool. So I'm guessing most of the stuff's going to be the brutal death metal stuff, which is awesome. Generally more of what I like. So yeah, we'll see. That ought to be interesting. So looks like maybe a real picture of a crematorium on the back. Just makes me think of, I don't know if anyone's a fan of King of the Hill, but obviously the main character, if you don't know, is a huge fan of propane and propane accessories. And he was thinking to himself, well, out loud with his friends about, he was talking about trailer parks, and they're like, the number one user of propane after something else in crematoriums. It's just like, okay, funny that he knows that. Next one I definitely recommend from the cover. It's called Cranium Chronicles of Perversion. This one looks kind of familiar, just like that Brutal Death, or Slam, also Slam Worldwide. So yeah, I mean, slammy, kind of brutal music, which I do like a lot of that too. I don't listen to a ton of it. I think my favorite, if I had to pick, is the band Guttural Secrete, I think it's called. Yeah, they're really good, but their releases are kind of hard to find. So yeah, definitely fits from the names of the songs, definitely fits that kind of slammy music. So obviously the front looks like it. I'm pretty sure I own something by this band. It looks really familiar, so would not be surprised. This is probably the weirdest looking cover so far. Oh, okay. It's something called Gross Load, Exposed to Forbidden Knowledge. Interesting. This looks like a very DIY cover. So interesting here. Wisconsin Rude Boy, spelled B-O-I. So you got little, like the little meme eyes, a little meme emoji face. So that ought to be interesting. This looks super DIY. So curious to see what this is. And it's got the anti-music thing there. And then this, more Brutal Death, I'm guessing. I can't tell what this says, but it's called, the album's called Reign of Terror. So curious to see what this is. The only digi so far. Got a guy kind of look like he's cupping the mic a little bit. Maybe looks like he's into some Distant Tomb or organectomy. Got a Dave Davidson looking guy with his, I don't know what shirt, kind of little Dave Davidson looking. I don't know, that's just me. I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing. It's kind of funny. I don't know the band shirts that they're wearing, so this could be hit or miss, but we'll see. I don't think Melanie would steer me wrong, or anyone. So again, probably Brutal Death, probably more like the slammy style, but I like that more than I think most people in underground metal do. I don't know why people usually shit on it. It's not deathcore, and I do like some deathcore here and there anyway, so wouldn't really offend me anyways, but I highly doubt that that would be sent my way. So, and then last but not least is another band I have heard of, and that is Guttural Slug, because I'm familiar with the album with the giant like megalodon coming at the guy. So that's pretty cool. This is one of their older albums because I think that one's newer. And then this album doesn't, oh, it's called Plague of Filth. Okay, pretty cool. Love the album art there too. So that's awesome. Thanks to, again, Melanie loves death metal for that. If you don't know her channel, and it's kind of weird because I figured that there's going to be enough crossover here between the two channels. So go subscribe to her channel and let her know in the comments if you want to. The next video you show up, say, hey, Layla Lover sent me, or Reaper Metal send me, whatever you want to do if you're curious. But again, I imagine most people are already pretty much crossed over, and I will listen to the albums I'm unfamiliar with, which is really most of them, and let you know what I think in maybe a future video. And I will also be coming at you really soon with my next video, so at least 2 in the month of April, even though I promised 0, so that's infinitely better if you understand how math works. Or infinitely more. So I will show you what I got in that giant pack, and if you are not subscribed to me and you are a fan of Instagram, which you really should be, it's not as bad as the other social medias in my opinion, and it's not owned by Elon Musk, which is kind of a plus, even though, well, okay, it's owned by Meta, which is Facebook, so Zuckerberg, so yeah, it's the same group of elite assholes. But either way, Instagram, I am difficult following on there. Also Unbaptized Records. Unbaptized Records is coming out with stuff this year. I have 3 releases planned. I'm super excited. The next video, the giant pack I got, has something to do directly with the label as well. So I will see you in that video.